Now for the next handgun, which happens to be an unlockable, the Samurai Edge original model. So as it says, this is the original Samurai Edge model designed by Joseph Kendo. Alright, and here it is in the inventory. 15 shot capacity 9mm handgun. One of the guns used during the STARS trial test, nicknamed Kendo Custom Phase 2. So what was Phase 1? Well, anyway, apparently this model was never seen before other than in this file in Resident Evil 3 of the Samurai Edge Custom. There's not much about it other than the fact that you see here it's infinite. That is because the only way to use it in the main game is to unlock it by beating the game once with an S rank on standard or hardcore in either campaign. You just have to get an S rank, simply. Or apparently you could purchase the all in-game rewards unlock DLC that has been released recently. I just found that out literally just now, looking at the page for the Samurai Edge. Anyway, yeah, so you could either earn it by getting an S rank, or you could buy it. You can find a finite version of the original modeled Samurai Edge if you play as Robert Kendo in the Ghost Survivors, as you can see here. So here it is. Alright, let's go ahead and test this beast out. So even though it has infinite ammo, it has limited capacity, so you'll still have to reload it each time, which I kind of like, actually. Alright, solid weapon, no doubt. Let's go ahead and test it on a standard zombie.
You asshole.
Okay, so it appeared to take a total of 13 shots. So by the looks of it, this may be slightly weaker than the JMB HP3 that I just tested out. But then again, it is using the same type of ammo, so not sure if these Samurai Edges are gonna be any more powerful than your regular handgun, but each one has some sort of perk. Obviously, the perk with this one is that it has infinite ammo. Other than that, it's all-out standard handgun, it seems. Alright, so that is going to conclude the original modeled Samurai Edge. Now for the next handgun, the Samurai Edge Jill model. So this must be the model Jill uses in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and probably other versions for all we know. Alright, let's check it out in-game. 15 shot capacity 9mm handgun. Customized with a smaller slide stop to reduce catching when drawing. According to a wiki, this variation provides quicker focus time than most other handguns, so I guess the crosshair hones in faster than other models. So this handgun I obtained by pre-ordering the game. Alright, here it is in game. Looks hardly different from the original model, but let's see if it acts different. Same capacity and all. But yeah, I'm seeing it right here. Look how fast that crosshair goes in. That's what it's good for. Alright, so let's see if it does any different damage than the original model.
What the hell? Oh no.
Alright, so that took a total of 14 shots to defeat a zombie with Jill's modeled Samurai Edge. The thing is, I feel like that 13th shot may have not counted as a headshot, but rather maybe like neck region. So I don't know if I screwed up there. Point is, at the very least, it's just as powerful as the original model. If not, maybe slightly less powerful. To compensate, you get the quick crosshairs. So, depending on your preference, either this or the original model. Although I feel like the original model has a much greater attribute, that being infinite ammo. Then again though, you cannot use it to get an S+ rank. You can, however, use the Jill model since it's not infinite. Alright, that is going to conclude the Samurai Edge Jill model. Now for the next Samurai Edge, the Chris model. This is the model Chris uses in Resident Evil Remake. Alright, here's the Chris model in game. 15 shot capacity 9mm handgun. That's how they all start. Customized with a hard steel slide and silver gilded trigger for increased accuracy and ease of use. Okay, that's a little easier to understand than Jill's description. So this one's just the accurate gun, you could say, out of all the models. Alright, so let's check it out. It's just kind of funny Leon holding Chris's gun, you know? Alright, now let's test Chris's model on a standard zombie, see if it makes any difference. Oh, man. Fuck. Who would have thought that criticals could be inconvenient for something?
What the?
Alright. So that took 13 shots before he fully went down. So yeah, it seems all of these Samurai Edges have around the same damage so far. All that changes is their individual perks and whatnot. As I said earlier, Chris's model appears to be the most accurate out of all of them. So I don't know what that really means in terms of actually playing the game. I mean, according to the description in the wiki, it said, like, the focus is less affected while moving. Maybe it's just a better gun if you move around a lot. Alright, so that is going to conclude the Samurai Edge Chris model. Now for the next and last Samurai Edge, the Albert model. This is obviously Wesker's model from Resident Evil 5. Alright, now let's check it out in game. 15 shot capacity 9mm handgun. Based on a design by Albert Wesker himself, this gun has been customized for robust performance. Alright. And yeah, you can tell it's Wesker's model just with all the white on it. So, unlike Chris and Jill's models, this one is still available for purchase, even if you don't pre-order the game. I got it because I pre-ordered the Deluxe Edition, so it came with everything that was available to offer. But you can still buy this as a DLC weapon, but I feel like there are also ways in order to obtain it even without pre-order. So, according to a wiki, the robust performance it's mentioning is a slightly better chance of a critical headshot and increased damage, apparently. So this might have different results with the enemy testing. We shall see, but first, we're going to test it out with Leon. Alright, let's test this beast out on a standard zombie.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, well, the fact that the zombie didn't shudder within the second shot, I'm pretty sure he was done after that 9th shot. So check it out, only 9 shots to take down a zombie with Wesker's Samurai Edge. So, out of all the models of the Samurai Edges, the Wesker model is the most powerful. So if firepower is what you're after, this is the model for you. So, it didn't say anything negative about it, but as I could see, I mean, the cursor does take forever, so that could be one thing, but the capacity is the same. I could say firepower, look, and maybe the crosshair aiming are all the differences. Alright, so that is going to conclude the Samurai Edge Albert model, as well as all Samurai Edges. We're not done with the handguns yet. Now for the next one, the MUP, or the MUP. And here it is in game. 16 shot capacity 9mm handgun, used by professionals in many state organizations, reliable with high accuracy. Alright, so the MUP can be found in Hunk's 4th survivor scenario, as you can see here, and according to the wiki, it functions similarly to the JMB HP3, albeit without the laser sight, making it inferior, albeit still a useful tool for staggering zombies. Apparently it has a better penchant for critical headshots. Alright, well, let's go ahead and test it out then. Alright, so let's go ahead and test the MUP on a standard zombie. All of the ones in here are decimated. Alright, dang, I was trying a different zombie, but whatever. So, it only took 7 shots to defeat that zombie. This being a different game mode and different zombie altogether, he was missing an arm, so maybe it was in a weakened state. You know what? I'll look for another zombie. Alright, I've had enough of this. So, that took 9 shots before that critical shot. I don't know if he was fully dead yet, criticaled before it gave me a chance, but I tried several zombies throughout this thing. A lot of them got criticaled by like the 4th or 5th shot. So, it stays true to the word that this apparently has high critical rate. When it finally gave me the chance, though, a lot of the time it only took 7 shots. That time it took 9, so this might be a pretty powerful handgun all around. And it has a high critical rate. I don't know what else to say about it. It's hard to compare to all the other handguns because it wasn't the same exact zombie in the same exact game mode either, so that could be coming into play here. Anyway, once again, I'm not getting real in-depth with it. There is your test for the MUP. And that concludes the MUP, as well as all standard handguns, believe it or not. Alright, so now for another pistol. This will be the first in the high caliber handgun series. So, this is the M19, and clearly, just from the looks and the name itself, it is the Colt 1911, or a variant of it. Alright, so let's check it out in game. 7-shot, large caliber, single action handgun that fires 45 ACP rounds. So those are the high caliber bullets, I presume. Its base design hasn't changed in over 70 years, so variants abound. Alright, so with the M19 being a second run only weapon, it's obviously only found in that scenario. Where exactly? This first room that you use the bolt cutters on, or in this case, the cutting tool. I just didn't examine it yet. Once you open this door, there it is, the M19. Awesome. So here's Leon holding it. Now, here's the thing. The reason he's holding it like this is because yet another throwback to the original Resident Evil 2. Instead of a costume causing this, this weapon will cause Leon to hold it one-handed at a 45-degree angle. So there's a little throwback there. So, based on research, this does have slightly more firepower than regular caliber handguns. The drawback is it has no custom parts, so it probably has slower reload and a lot lower capacity than the Matilda. Anyway, let's go ahead and test this baby out. He does, however, fire it faster than the Matilda, as long as you don't have the 3-round burst for the Matilda. Alright, let's test the firepower of the M19 against a standard zombie. Alright, I think he's dead. So, yeah, that only took 7 shots to defeat. So apparently the high caliber ammo proves to be more powerful than the standard handgun ammo. Again, you only get this in the second scenario, so I guess in a way the second scenario is supposed to be easier. Although I have to say, I do miss the capacity of the Matilda and like all the custom parts. So in my personal opinion, I don't like the high caliber handguns nearly as much as the regular handguns, but that's just personal preference. I did notice though, while Leon was shooting, it does do a bit of a jolt, like that. So, I feel like they made aiming slightly tougher because he does it like that. That's all I'm going to say about the M19, so that's going to conclude it. Now for the final handgun, high caliber or not, the Quickdraw Army. This is also Claire's secondary pistol in her second run. So here it is in game. 6-shot capacity, 45 ACP, single action handgun. Various customizations of this gun exist, each with their own name. One of those might be Single Action Army, throwing back to its original counterpart in the original Resident Evil 2. So just like Leon's M19, Claire's Quickdraw Army is in the same area. There's the first area where you have to use the bolt cutters. As you'll see here, here it is. Quickdraw Army. Alright, so here's the best depiction I can get close up, since Claire holds it way down. This, I'll tell you guys right here and now, is my least favorite weapon in the entire game of Resident Evil 2 Remake. Because my experience with it, especially in my blind playthrough of it, did not suffice. It was a piece of shit for me. That's just my opinion, though. Alright, so let's go ahead and test it out. Only 6 shots, so this is gonna be fast, and the firing speed is going to surprise you guys. So first I'll rapid fire it. Yeah, insanity, right? Now, here's why I hate it so much. Check out the reload animation. It takes forever to reload it. The only way to overcome that is to not unload it completely. If you only load 1 bullet, there you go. So it's based on how many bullets are used up. And yeah, if you unload it completely, you're gonna have a horrible time reloading it. Now, let's see it a little more slower. That's better. But yeah, this reload is just insanity. Have to run away basically while you're doing it if you have any chance. It should probably be mentioned that both of the high caliber handguns can be found in Anin Tofu's inventory in the Tofu Survivors scenario. And here's him using the Quickdraw army since he's technically a male. Even though you can't even see the gun. Ridiculous. Alrighty then. Well, let's go ahead and test the Quickdraw army on a standard zombie. So yeah, once again, took 7 shots to defeat the zombie. Same as the M19. So being the same ammo, it makes a lot of sense. But you have got to hate that reload animation. So I by far like the M19 better than this pistol. As I said earlier, this is my least favorite weapon in the entire game. So I'm glad it's over. That is going to conclude the Quickdraw army, as well as all handguns and pistols alike. So, one thing I'm going to mention while I'm here in Ada's section is this item, the EMF Visualizer.
It's secret weapon time.
So, I wouldn't call it a weapon necessarily. It's described here as a hacking gadget. A device capable of detecting and projecting EM fields onto walls in real time. It can also be used to remotely control some electronics. Here's a nice detailed look at the EMF Visualizer. So, the reason I'm deciding to feature it, because the way Ada holds it is gun-like, and I feel like some smartass in the comments will probably mention that I should have showcased it if I didn't. So, I'm just going to avoid that entirely. So, this is it in use, and as you can see, it gives you the ability to hack electronics. So, I can do stuff like this now. This is all going to be one recording. There's no enemy testing or anything like that since it's not a gun. Alright, that's just an example of usage. I'm not going to show all the uses of it, so just thought I should quickly mention that while I'm here. Now to transition into the submachine guns, and the first one is the MQ-11. Alright, here it is in the inventory, and as you can see, it comes with a couple of custom parts as well. I'll get to those in a second. First, let's examine it here. 24 round capacity, 380 ACP submachine gun with an extremely high rate of fire, usually used for spraying an area with bullets. Alrighty, so the location of the MQ-11 is in the back of the STARS office in the armory, as you can see back there. Unfortunately, the only way to unlock this is to acquire the USB dongle key, which, upon examination, is just an extension of the STARS badge. Not gonna go into detail, all the things you need to do to lead up to this item, you'd best just look it up. But anyway, once you insert the USB dongle key, it will unlock this door. You just have to activate this computer. Open Sesame. And there it is, the MQ-11. So its custom parts include the high capacity mag, which extends the clip capacity to 50 rounds, just like all the other high capacity mags. It doubles the capacity. However, it didn't say anything about reload time, so I don't know if that is affected. The other custom part is a suppressor, a custom part for the MQ-11 that suppresses the sound of gunfire and acts as a counterweight to greatly reduce muzzle rise. All right. So the location of the suppressor custom part for the MQ-11 is at the bottom of the stairs under the goddess statue in the main hallway of the police station. Now you must have the STARS badge on you in order to unlock this storage case. Open it up, and there you have it. The suppressor. The high capacity mag for the MQ-11 is found in Wesker's desk in the STARS office. Now, take note that you can only inspect his desk once you develop the hiding place film, which is acquired in the workroom in the sewer section. Once you develop that film, you'll gain the ability to inspect the desk like so, and acquire this wooden box. Now, if you inspect the wooden box, there it is, the high capacity mag for the MQ-11. And just so you know, there's also a hidden film in this drawer, in case you guys want to know. Alright, so locations have been revealed. Now let's start testing the weapon in action. First, I'll test it out with no parts whatsoever. Here, you can get a good look at the weapon. She holds it almost like a pistol right now. Then if we turn and aim it, she actually holds it like that. And check out the cursor. It's like very wide at first, and then gets narrow. Alright, here we go. So not a really high capacity, really. Alright, now let's try it out with the high capacity mag attached to it. Alright, so now it's a 50 round capacity 380 ACP submachine gun. Yeah, just changing the beginning of the description. So with more ammo, let's test it out now. Alright, now let's try the MQ-11 with a suppressor attached to it. Alright, this is another custom part that makes the weapon two-slotted, just keep in mind. So, that being said, you can remove it if you want, and put it back on whenever you want. But yeah. Alright. Has a silencer suppressor on it now, that's awesome. And you know, one thing I noticed is once you, I don't know why it waits until you do that, but you have to put the suppressor on it in order to use the built-in stock it has. It's kind of hard to understand that. It holds that a lot better now. So here we go. Definitely a lot quieter. Alright, so let's go ahead then and attach the high capacity mag to finalize it. So this is the full MQ-11. Doesn't change the description whatsoever though, the suppressor that is. Here's a detailed look at the MQ-11 with all of the parts equipped. Alright, now let's test it one final time. Actually sounded like it got hot for a second. Alright, so now let's go ahead and test this sucker on a standard zombie. Starting with no parts, of course, and I'm also not gonna let the cursor get all the way zoomed in for the submachine guns, simply because no one has time to zero in on each individual shot with a submachine gun. So here we go.
Asshole. What?
So upon careful inspection of playing that clip back, it appeared to take successful impacts of submachine gun ammo to take down that zombie. Now there were a couple of times where I fired off 2 shots, but I looked back that clip very carefully, and of those 2 rapid fire shots may have missed a couple times. I took that into consideration. If you guys came across any different results, feel free to try to correct me, but I'm standing by my... Alright, so obviously submachine gun rounds are weaker than handgun rounds. That was a given. But now let's test out the MQ-11 with all the parts attached.
Shit! You asshole!
Alright, there were a couple body shots near the end there. I really don't feel like trying this again, so I'm just gonna say that took around 26 to 28 shots, give or take a couple body shots. Point is, that still proves that it seems more powerful with the custom parts attached. Took less shots even though a couple of them weren't headshots. Can't deny that. So I really don't have much more to say about this weapon, since there's no other weapon in its class yet to compare it to. So that is going to conclude the MQ-11. Now for the next machine gun, the LE5. Alright, and here it is in game. 32 shot capacity, 380 ACP machine gun. Uses a closed bolt and has high accuracy. Alright. So, just by looking at it, this is probably a little more intricate submachine gun than the MQ-11, but that's just pure speculation right there. Now, as you can see, I have an infinity symbol on it. That is because this weapon, at least for the main game, isn't unlockable. It can be unlocked by finishing the game on hardcore with an S rank, or by purchasing the All In-Game Rewards Unlock DLC. Alright, so there you go. You can find a finite version of the LE5 submachine gun in Hunk's scenario, The Fourth Survivor. Just quick mention. As well, if you play as Ghost in The Ghost Survivors, who looks exactly like Hunk anyway, so, except his mask is all fucked up. Here's Leon holding it. Alright, so let's go ahead and test this submachine gun out. Alright, nothing much more to say now, so let's go ahead and test this submachine gun on a standard zombie.
Shit.
Alright, so I watched that very carefully because that zombie actually gave me an easy time, unlike with Claire and her MQ-11. So that took 26 shots to defeat that zombie, and all of those were headshots. This basically, so far, is the most powerful machine gun. I feel like that's kind of obvious, though. Just look at it compared to the MQ-11. It's just a more sophisticated submachine gun all around. Alright. Well, that being unlockable, again, you cannot achieve an S plus rank with this weapon. As soon as you use it, you get dropped to an S standard. So nothing much else to say about it. Compared to the MQ-11, it is more powerful. So that is going to conclude the LE5 machine gun.
No. Sorry, you strike. Don't hurt him.
Now for the final machine gun, the minigun. It's looking like a beast. Alright, so here's the minigun in game. They're really thrown back to the original Resident Evil 2 with this one. A 6-barrel motorized minigun that fires 7.62mm NATO rounds. Fast rate of fire and deals a lot of damage. Can fire indefinitely. Well, yeah, because the version I have is an infinite one. So the location of the minigun is at the turntable at the very end of Claire's scenario, where you would insert the joint plugs. The Gatling gun is right over here on a table. Keep calling it Gatling gun, minigun, Gatling gun, the same thing. There you go. Here's a nice detailed close-up look in game. Alright, so yeah, the infinite version can be unlocked by completing Claire's scenario in hardcore mode with an S plus rank. That's why I say it throws back to the original Resident Evil 2, because it's the ultimate reward for completing her scenario, like in the hardest mode. Alright, so let's go ahead and test the sucker out. Notice how the end of it started glowing orange because it's getting really hot, probably. You can also find the minigun if you play as Flan in the Tofu Survivors, as you can see here. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and test this on a zombie again, but I have a feeling this is going to be a little too much for the zombie. So after the zombie, I'll probably try my luck on a liquor. Okay, so clearly these rounds are very powerful because keep getting critical. So let's go for the body instead.
Oh no! Shit!
Okay, I think he's dead. So that took to take down the zombie, just going for the torso. Granted, there was like an arm shot, maybe two in there somewhere, but still, it magnificently demonstrates the power of this thing. Now, I'm going to have a little more fun. I will go for the liquor now. I'm not really going to pay attention to the amount of shots, though. I'm just going to spray bullets onto a liquor just to show you guys the power. So as you saw, if you just keep the trigger held and your aiming is good, you will have no trouble with this weapon. It is one of the ultimate unlockables after all. Well, that is going to conclude the minigun as well as all machine guns in general.